Hello, everyone. I'm Joanna with a story that more people than you think is familiar with. I've told this story before, but never really finished the story, and I want to tell it again. It's the sexless marriage. You would think, wow, and how could you have a sexless marriage? And maybe I could clear this up. Before I do it, go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel because I do tell stories, real stories. I want to start by saying that no one goes into a marriage to be sexless. Most people go, you fall in love and you have a partner. After waiting 10 years to wed after your losing a husband, 10 years widow, and you finally make up your mind that you want to do the right thing by your children, God, and yourself by being married. So 10 years, you wait 10 years. And finally you meet someone that fit every category that you had set for this next husband. Everything that you um wanted him to be, he was that. You was not looking for anyone. But if he came. Well, that was the situation that I'm telling my story. And I'm just gonna dive right on in it. I was married to a man that now I'm now divorced from, and we were married for almost 20 years. Married for 15, but we were together before that. Now you figure, say, if a woman know that her husband is not, you know, wanting to have sex with her, she must have known, yes, there were signs. And these are the signs that I had that you think that if your husband don't uh, fondle, uh, French kiss, or anything like that, that lovers would do if you're dating. If you are a Christian woman, first thing you will count that as a blessing. You believe like, oh God, thank you, Lord, you have blessed me. I have a blessing. This man won't bother me, and I could just, and plus I'm gonna get married. So you have struck it. God has really blessed you. Then you you go on and you marry this man, because he get down on one knee and ask you to marry him, and then you do. Um, then you notice that he wanna marry you like right away, so that doesn't bother you because you think like all the time we were dating, he didn't bother me. So yes, he's Christian like he say he is, and he's ready to make love to his wife because he was a widower, just like I was a widow. He was a widower. So I was a widow, he was a widower. I was for 10 years, he was for 5 years. So finally, we did get married and in a courthouse, and he pushed me from the courthouse to the car, to the truck, and pushed me to the bedroom, the marital bed, um, and like I said, mounted me quickly and did what he had to do to his new wife. That's let me see how many years. I think 12 years older, 12 years younger than you. You know, maybe you taking all this under consideration, that you got a nice body and you're 12 years younger than this man, because he's like 52 at the time. So you 12 years younger than that. And you thinking all of this, so you still not giving it any, you know, really, you're really not paying it attention. So you go on and you figure, say, okay, you know, he was ready. So then you don't go out to dinner. This man didn't take me out to dinner or anything. No, no, nothing. We had just got married. After 10 years, I waited, and no, nothing. No restaurant, nothing. And I was brought home and mounted. And then, but anyway, like around 3 o'clock in the morning, I started, feeling um, aroused by my husband, the scent of a man in the bed with me. And I was happy because I say, oh boy, you know, I can make love to my husband. And God will shine on me, being a Christian woman. And I rubbed and caressed his back for him to turn over. My husband, my new husband, jumped up out of the bed on 2 feet, and he looked at me with the worst look on his face, and he said, what I did this morning, I had taken a pill that my friend gave me because he knew I was getting married. And I did that with a pill, with the, assistance of a pill. And that was meaning being able to function. That's what, he told me. So I was like stunned and I was taken back. You got to know you was looking at a woman that was um like around, I wasn't even, let me see how old I was. I want to get this straight. My sister died when she was 48, and we had been together for almost a year, and my sister had met him, but we had just got married in that January, and she passed in October, and she was 48, and I was 45 because I'm 3 years younger than she is. So I was 45 years old, and he was 53. So let me see. 45, 10 is 55, 57. But anyway, you get it. I was young. I'm 12 years younger than he is. So I don't know how that worked, but I'm 12 years younger than him. And oh, that means he lied to me. Oh my goodness. I'm just figuring this out because the math doesn't fit. I hadn't thought about my sister passed before she even got to meet my new husband. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, so then when he did that, uh I was very annoyed. Very, very, very annoyed. So I said, I don't care what pill you take, I want sex. And he said, so you rather have me dead than have sex? I said, I already got a dead husband. I married that I could have sex. You know, that was dirty, for someone, if that was true. I'm kind of having things transpired over the years since we've been divorced that's not, panning out. And I'm gonna tell you why. But anyway, that went on. I did not tell anyone, but can you imagine that you are with a man laying in the bed every night and he not touching you? Now, I'm still not ready to tell you everything that happened to my life because of being in a sexless marriage. But I'm going to tell you this right here. If you don't get out, which I found out 14 years into the marriage, almost at the, 1 year from the end of our relationship, when a judge, standing before a judge, and he told me, do you know that you could have gotten an annulment? When he told you that morning that he could not perform and he had not discussed this with you at all, but he tell you he cannot perform without medication, and he had not discussed this with you, and you are a grown woman, had been married, you're a widow, he's widow. That's something, you're not a virgin. You know what I'm saying? So you need to discuss stuff. Um, he wouldn't discuss anything like that. So anyway, um, my family did not understand what was wrong with me because I left him and I moved to Alaska and didn't know one soul in the state. I got on a plane and I flew to Alaska, went to the bank, drew money out of the bank, let you know how long ago it's been. It was when you had to get uh for cash, and instead of carrying cash, you get cashier's checks. Well, that's what it was. Cashier checks and credit cards. So anyway, and I stayed, and the family begged me to come home, and but I still didn't tell nobody why I ran away because I had done got in this with this man, married to this man, and I wasn't being satisfied. So I figured I finally, I came home. Even my sister that passed away in October, um, I was going to tell her. I was going to tell her because she was going to come to Atlanta to celebrate 2000 coming in. And I know we were teasing and saying, oh, we're going to party like it's 1999, and that was what the big thing was. She was coming, and but she passed before the new year, 2000. So I had left this man twice. I left him twice in the marriage. From James, I left him twice, but nobody couldn't figure out why she leaving this, like they say, good husband, because he was clean, decent, like all the stuff they thought. Um, there's some more things with this, but it's just about the sexless part. And so that went on, and I didn't tell anybody but my son, my eldest son, the one that passed away on that picture. And he gave my husband some stuff, or that he used or something like that. But anyway, that had told him that'll help him, but he didn't use it. And I went to him. I said, "Did you talk to my husband about those pills?" He said, "Yeah, I gave them to him and pops and. So you mean to tell me still nothing?" I said, "No." But anyway, um, when I went to Florida, my sister passed away, and it's nice room out there around Disney World, nice. And my daughter and my grandbaby went with me, and we drove up. My husband drove us all up, and I figured I'd say, this is the second time we went gone on vacation and didn't do anything. Yeah, second time we had a sexless vacation. And the first time I thought, oh boy, we're gonna really And then when my sister passed, I said, no, he gonna, have pity on me and make love to me. Can you imagine? I went from a praying to God for my husband that passed for him to stop. That's the kind of husband I had, to that. It's like I was being cursed. So I want anybody that's looking at this video, if you are in, or even if you started it, don't. I'm telling you, honey, it's not gonna get any better. So that went on, and we went to this fancy hotel, and it had two king size beds. It was like a house in that hotel. And my daughter was going to stay with her relatives in Orlando, and we gave her the car and everything. But next thing you know, she coming back. She said, "Mom, I didn't get to stay. I don't want to stay. Can I stay with you?" And I say, "Sure, honey, because ain't nothing going on in here." I kind of mumbled it because she didn't know. She didn't know what was going on. And she was my daughter, but for some reason, my daughter and I didn't tell her about that. I felt more comfortable telling my eldest son about that. And anyway, yeah. But anyway, I went on, and he didn't. We in the bed. We in the bed, and he would make people, give people the, like, throw little stuff out to make people think he was a sex machine. Like, um, oh, watch out, mama. Don't, he would say, and I would say to myself, why is he why is he teasing and kidding himself? Like, he was getting in my cousin's bed, and because he was tired, and I say, can he sleep? And she got him, got nice clean bed, and he said, oh, you better hurry up and leave out because I sleep in the nude. That was a lie. You don't sleep in the nude. Why do you make gestures, or you know flirtatious remarks when you don't do that? You don't do that. And my husband would, when he would go in the bathroom, and I would sit, before I moved to Alaska, he would go take a shower from working, and I say, well, we've eaten dinner and all this stuff, and he take his shower, get ready for bed, and I'm already ready for bed, and I'm going like, oh, tonight gonna be tonight. I had just got really just fed up, and my husband would take a shower, and he instead of coming into the bedroom, he would go around the other side of the house into the living room to sit in the chair until I fall asleep. It's a crime and it's a torture, and it did something to me. I ran to Alaska um, in 2000 for good. This the last time, and I wasn't coming back for good. I came for good, but then time um, I was up here for 2 years, and I got lonely. I say, well, maybe if he, maybe I don't know. So let me tell you, I was a good woman, um, hardworking, clean Christian woman, and things started. I started. Things happen because of you being, you know, one thing can lead to another. So don't let your life start to be a domino, have a domino effect. What I mean by that, if you just say that you were an alcoholic, or you had problems with yeah, the alcohol or drugs or any type of smoking cigarettes or whatever, and you start back smoking, that it could, you messing with fire. If you, that right there, you trying to, still contain, it's hell. It's hell. You trying to contain your life, your relationship with God, your relationship with yourself, and you trying to be true, and you still keeping all this bottled in. Well, it could cause mental illness, physical illness, and all kind of other things could start from that. Just stem from that. Um, so I 2 years I waited, and I called, told him to come up. He hadn't changed a bit. My husband, he wasn't changed, and I'm not gonna go into anything other than the sexless marriage, because that marriage is a story, a whole story. But if you are in a sexless marriage, and I mean absolutely no sex, and what you say, well, how long did you stay? 15 years. Because I'm a good woman, and you just don't marry to just divorce. You give it everything you got, everything you got. I even went to I even tried to communicate with a sister in my church, and this woman threw me to the dogs. And then I said, well, it's time for me to go to the pastor. I know this, I'm a woman, but I can tell him without being direct. And he understood. He's a smart man, and he picked up what I was saying without me going right to it. And he said, well, I will pair you up with a sister in the church that you can talk to, and you can just, and she'll listen to you. I don't know the relationship he had with the other sister in the church, but she was the one that brought me to that church, and I joined that church. So anyway, that went on, and everything, and one thing led to another. It was a train wreck. I wanted to die. You talk about low self-esteem. I gained 100 and some pounds, and I was a little woman when I came to Alaska. and I think I weighed like 130 pounds. And uh, when he came up here, um, and then I just it's just going just honey, it's bad on your health. I was in the hospitals, in and out of the hospital. I wanted to absolutely die because after a while I started questioning the God love for me, even though He saw me through a suicide attempt on my life and a murder on my life. He saw me through all of that, 10 years, and then sent this man just like a wolf in sheep clothing to get in my life to torment me. It was a disaster. It's something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. So if you are a woman, I don't know about men and how they go, how could any woman not do that to a man? So, I can't say men, only speak for women. Do not, if you are young, now remember, I was I wasn't even 45, so and I had been my husband died when I was 32 years old. Yeah, he was 28. And 10 years. Yeah. So 42 years old, I think I was when I married him. 42 years old. And you're going to be 42 years old. You're going to wait 10 years. You're going to marry 42 years old and then be sexless? I don't think so. Because a woman just reach her peak. I'm telling you when she's around 40. So, I mean, sexual peak. Because she's always faster than the man anyway. And then so you can imagine at 40 years old, she's at the peak. And it don't stop till after that to death or she gets sick or ill, something like that. A woman. I'm telling you now. So imagine the torture and hell that I was going through. And let me tell you, ladies, if you have any sign of what I just told you, and you thinking that God has sent you a man that he not kissing and rubbing and stuff and praise the Lord, this is him, that he's not. Because that's out of a man's nature. We talking realistic here now. Yes. Saint Paul himself or the Pope. I'm talking real men, baby, real men, and they're gonna say something. If they don't, they're gonna say something to make you know. And then not only say something, you're gonna see something. You know, let me tell you, it's unnatural. So then, when you start out and you see that night that maybe you might do it, and then the next night and then he come up with something like he can't do it or you notice some sexual dysfunction, I would say give him 30 days. Give him 30 days because your love cannot stand the test of that. Mm-mm. Your love, I'm gonna be honest with you. Your love cannot stand that. Ain't no love gonna stand up under that. Mm-mm. No, not from two full grown adults. No, your love would not withstanding in if you trying to be right with God, um, you sure enough ain't gonna stand it because you would rather not commit adultery with a husband, cheating on a husband to have to fulfill your sexual desires. You got to pay a man or go somewhere to meet him. You don't want to run that. So I would give him 30 days and I would tell him, see, these days and time, you women, you don't have to put up with it because make it known. make it known if you are a Christian and you see that he asks questions, you know, ask questions. You know, if he might be a preacher or something, and he, saying that he don't want to do it before marriage, you ask him, is there anything wrong with you? Because um, I don't want you to go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, I don't want you to go down the rabbit hole, and no married woman should have to um, be humiliated by her husband because she was forced to go by a sexual uh, um, device and didn't know how to use it, you know, and then go in the bathroom and try to please herself. He's standing there listening at the door and open the shower and tell her to call his name to make it, to make it. So, honey, let me tell you, don't be humiliated by no man doing you like that, honey. You're worth everything. And sex really is a big factor in a marriage. Um, you know what? I'm not gonna say some sex better than none at all. Honey, don't I don't even go that way no more. I rather have nothing to play with me like that. Don't play with me. I'm not in that game anymore. What I'm saying. I know better. I know what I want from a man, and I know everything I want from a man. Put it like that. And so women, if you don't want it, um, it's all right with you. But if you want it every now and then, ain't nobody saying somebody wants somebody, some sex nut. But I'm saying like, you know, just ordinary partnership. Don't do it, women, because you'll wind up in a sexless marriage for 15 years. And so anyway, this is Joanna, and if you want to hear more of my stories, like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm going to be having a channel just with my stories. I do stories over in Quora. So if you ever uh Quora, Quora, and it's Nappyhead just want to talk sometime. And I do have MySpace and yourplace.com over there. Just go over there and look me up. And I have 5 spaces, Joanna Woodbury, so that you can look me up in Quora. And I do tell stories in Quora. But I am going to upload this story in Quora. But um, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have a friend that you might suspect that she's sexless, share it with her. Don't just because she's young, because a pastor's wife was about 24 and told me after I first started coming out with the sexless marriage that she was in one, and she was 24 years old. So it doesn't, and she's like feel like she's stuck because but she did get a divorce. Yeah, she got a divorce, but um, she couldn't stand it anymore. No, no, you don't sign up. You sign up for the whole package. Nobody wants to cheat on their husband. No, no good woman, Christian woman, want to go around laying around and you got your husband. But anyway, this is Joanna, and go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do tell stories, and this is a personal story. Okay, bye bye. Thank you.